Hey, welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Wednesday edition. Cousin Sal here. Joe House is here. Anthony Dabbundo is here. Dabbundo, we're going to have to talk real loud like this because House has been up all hours talking basketball with the sportsish guy, Bill Simmons. House, how are you feeling? I know you want to go to sleep right after this. We had technical difficulties, so nice prank by me on you.
That's a great job by you. I am wearing the same clothes that I wore for 9 hours of NBA content. Did you know there are 30 teams in the NBA and you're supposed
Yeah.
to talk about each one for about 45 minutes? Jesus Christ. I did get time to change my hat though, so I am ready for you boys. We've got some great bets lined up for this weekend.
I think that's a
Well,
ringer hat. Does the R stand for retired? I don't know, Dabbundo. What's going on with House?
well, I was just, you ever fall asleep listening to a podcast and
Yeah,
you
all
have
the time.
nightmares about that person? I'm
Yeah.
concerned that I might have nightmares about Joe House in the coming days as I try
Oh,
to get through these 4 hours of NBA over-unders that I'm very excited to listen to. Also, when are the Euro League over-unders? That's what we need to know.
that's on the end. That they did that at the tail end. I don't want to spoil
Is
it
Raheem
for you,
coming
but
on for
yes.
Euro League over-unders?
No, it was just Zach Lowe. It was House and Simmons. They did EuroLeague. They did all those 4 hours. So check that out right now. But if you can't get enough of House like us, join us here. Listen for the next hour or so. It's going to be fun. We have baseball to cover. We have football, pro. Oh, the Thursday game. We got all sorts of picks for you. We got college football to go after. Is that it? Is that it? No, we have more than that. Dabbundo and I are going to have basketball picks, and House is going to pretend to care, and we'll go through that. And we have our wise wagers and stuff like that. But first things first, let's hit the Hump Day headlines. This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel, and if you're betting on the NFL, FanDuel's the place to do it. You've got everything: same game parlays, quick bets for when you jump in live, and your way, so you can set your own lines. The app's fast, it's easy to use, and best of all, when you win, you get paid out instantly. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Yes, you must be 21 or older and present in select states and 18 or older in DC, Kentucky, and Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-1 in Milwaukee. Yamamoto, complete game. First one in 8 years. Dabbundo, that's crazy. I know we say these guys never go the distance, but that can't be. The first complete game in 8 years in the postseason? That's true?
Really, if it weren't for Dave Roberts being a little bit silly in the ninth inning of game one, it would have been back-to-back,
Right.
which is even crazier. They just had two of the best playoff starts of the decade in
Yep.
consecutive games of the first two games of the NLCS. So this Dodgers pitching staff, we talked about it before the Phillies series, after the Phillies series. Still upset about the Phillies series, but it's a
Oh, you
historically
are?
good rotation. And they're finally all healthy at the same time, just in time for the playoffs. And you're seeing this well-built machine just completely take apart a pretty good offense in Milwaukee.
And this puts the Dodgers up 2-0. They're minus 1,300 House to win this series and advance to the World Series, and minus 165 to win the World Series. You could have got them not a week ago, but 10 days ago, I think, at plus 550. Insanity, House. Should we have seen this coming with the Dodgers?
Well, my question is, did those Dodgers pitchers stay in the haunted Milwaukee hotel?
Oh, yeah.
Because that maybe this is the thing. They're taking those ghosts. They have the Milwaukee batters seeing ghosts, that's for sure.
Right.
Those pitching performances really did harken back to our old days, the way we were raised, cousin
Right,
Sal.
House. That's right.
Men were men, pitchers pitched, 8 innings, 9 innings when the season was on the line. And so this could be, it's the ghost of Randy Johnson. It's the ghost of who's the crazy one? Schilling? What's
Well,
the other?
yes, but yeah, those guys are still alive. But maybe it's Tommy Lasorda, the ghost of Tommy Lasorda, keeping them up at all hours, screaming profanities at them, and it has inspired this team. But okay, so with these Hump Day headlines, Dodgers being up 2-0, they come back. Game 3 is Thursday. A buddy of mine, Dan Sanborn's like, "Hey, I have a ticket for you. So here's the line we're going to attach to this. Time I will spend leaving Dodger Stadium parking lot on Thursday, over under 37.5 minutes. House, what do you say? Over or under?"
I don't know what the lore is with the parking lot thing. It's like this. It's always
it's
an
easy.
epic traffic.
Zip in and out. Yeah.
This is the thing. This didn't Larry David bring a prostitute so you could get into the express lane?
Right.
In real life or on the show, one or the other.
Yes.
Honestly, because here's the play. This is what I'm surprised. Not that I don't hear the people doing this more often. You just wait. Don't they still sell hot dogs after the game? You just go right to the Dodger dog stand. You space them out over the course of the game, and then you save up for a 4-dog at the end.
Oh,
and
that's
by
smart.
then everybody clears out, right?
Right. That's it. Okay. All right. That is a good idea. Yes. So you like you're scrounging like for the winter, like a bear, like you're like, right. You're gathering up.
Or just a day that ends in Y.
Yes, that's right. That's right. All right. Dabbundo, you going over or under 37.5 minutes?
Early start
Yeah.
means people will not leave early, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because I feel like if it's a 3:00 start local, which
Right.
means people won't even get there until the 4th inning.
Right.
So that means they're not going to leave early.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go over, unfortunately for you. If it were like a late game,
Yeah.
they might leave in the 7th, get there in the 4th, leave in the 7th. But in this case, I feel like it's pretty tough to get out. And I've never been to Dodger Stadium, at least for a game. It's on the list.
Well,
I've seen the videos. It's right up there with like Seattle with the fish toss and Philly with the Rocky statue. Every time there's a national broadcast of Dodger Stadium, they have to get a shot of the parking lot on the way out.
Right.
To make sure that people understand just how
beautiful.
much traffic there is.
Yeah, the salmon sky overseeing Chavez Ravine and that part of it. But yes, when you're trying to, okay, let me just say this. It was a trick question. I am not going. I'm not going. I turned it down. I turned down the ticket house because I have sat in that for 2.5 hours. I'm not rooting for either of these teams.
Right. What do you care?
Either of these teams.
Yeah.
I am not going. I feel like an idiot because at 13 years old, 14 years old, 20 years old, we would have killed for a playoff ticket of any kind, right, House? But I cannot do it.
Well,
for some reason,
too good
2
for
hours.
Dodgers NLCS games.
I'm too good to sit in a parking lot for 3 hours. I can't
Doesn't
do
it also like it risks running into the NFL Week 7 Thursday night game? You can't have that.
That's the other thing. Right. Exactly. All right.
You can't miss the Battle of the Unks. I mean,
I
goodness.
guess I can watch it on my phone in the freaking
Steelers-Bengals?
Dodger Stadium parking lot. All right, here's another Hump Day headline. Ringer video podcast moving to Netflix. Holy crap, Dabbundo. You predicted this way back like a year ago, and here we are. How did you know?
I've been reading Bill Simmons, so somebody theorized it years ago, and I jumped onto it. No, I think it's pretty cool. It's hard to keep all the companies that we're aligned with together. I can't keep them all straight in my head. It's like we got YouTube, we got Netflix, we got Spotify. It's great.
He's
Happy
a
for the
mover and
company.
a shaker. This house. We should have known this when. Oh my God, we were at the Masters house, and I think we were with Netflix people, and they were all up in Simmons Grill. They loved them, and here we are. We're moving a bunch of these shows to Netflix. Fairway Rolling being one of them.
Sal, are you prepared for people to guess the lines and chill?
I've heard a lot of those. Like the people like to really trying to chat GBT this some kind of titles together. But House, what? Give us your thoughts quickly.
It's the power of the pimento, cause everybody knows that every great deal in America happens over pimento cheese sandwiches down at the Masters. The most important thing for this, and we really need somebody with the Ringer to send out the list of here's who we're friends with, and here are our enemies. Friends and enemies. Tough. I need an updated friends and enemies list.
All right.
Might be one new enemy.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on. All right, here's something though that the odds makers can't find this on FanDuel, but how about this? Anthony Dabbundo spotted making out with at the Netflix Christmas party. Here are odds on some suitors here. Millie Bobby Brown 3-1.
Wow.
Anya Taylor-Joy 5-1. She's the Queen's Gambit, right? We have the lead actor from Dahmer 75-1. I'm sorry, I didn't write down his name. Or The Field. Let's have some fun with this. House, I'll let you answer first. Where's your money going?
Oh, I wish I watched more things on Netflix. No offense, Netflix, but it feels like there's some other.
Oh, Jesus, they just kicked you off.
Good candidates.
That's it.
Fairway Rolling has been relegated to Hulu.
The first show
immediately
kicked off. That's exactly right. No, the Millie Bobby Brown is sensational. I'm rooting for that for our nephew, cousin Sal.
All right. AD with MBB. What do we think, Dabbundo?
What a roster I'm developing here.
You really
Nicole
are.
and I, we had such a good time.
Oh,
We had such a good time in the last row of the stadium for game 1 of the NLDS that
Right.
she said, let's do standing room only for game 2.
It was Nicole Kidman. Yeah, we tried to pair you with Nicole Kidman, and I think
Yep.
even Sister Jean before her untimely demise. That was very sad. But
you,
okay.
okay. I have an update. Dabbundo can't kiss Anya Taylor-Joy because she's married.
Oh, she's
Uh,
married. Okay.
yeah, and they had 2 weddings
Oh,
apparently.
2 weddings. All right.
Yeah,
Well, maybe she's already up for a third. Who knows?
could be.
Let's see what happens here. All right. One more here. Hump Day headline. Nick Mangold, former Jet great, needs a kidney, and he's asked fans to consider donating. I think this is good. I mean, I think this could absolutely work. I want to ask you, House, if you were to donate a kidney to an athlete, would it be a wizard 30-1, a commander 7-1, a golfer 3-1, or never? Don't even think about it, minus 650.
Wow. I would definitely donate a kidney to Jaden Daniels. If Jaden, if and I'm
Really?
worried it could be this season.
Mm-hmm. This would be it. Yeah. Not a lot of kidney injuries in the NFL.
Well, I mean, the
Not
ribs,
enough, I would
those,
say.
the way
Yes.
you get hit, he's moving, he's twisting, he
Yeah.
takes a
Yeah.
shot.
Okay.
But this season, I'm not. I mean, the protection. I don't know.
I
I'm worried
gotcha.
for my guy.
Yeah, there's no kidney protector in the as far as padding goes, I don't think. All right, Dabbundo, what about you? I mean, you're canoodling with all the greats at the Netflix Christmas party, but if someone were to need a kidney in the sports world, where would yours go?
Well, Andrew Luck famously lacerated his kidney in the
Right.
2014 week, I want to say 9 game against the Denver Broncos on a touchdown that he scored in the classic Peyton Manning
Mhm.
versus Andrew Luck battle. And in that moment, I would have gone down into the blue tent and given my kidney to Andrew Luck if it meant that he could lead the Colts and maybe it prolonged his career for another year or two, just to
Really?
watch that man play football. I know it ended up being his shoulder, calf, head, and other injuries that shortened his career. But yeah, if needed, I'd go in the tent right now for Andrew Luck. Current athletes, I'm not sure that there's too many.
No Phillies.
Chris Sanchez, maybe.
Okay.
Oh,
Aaron Nola,
yes.
if he needed a kidney.
Not Bryce
I-
Harper.
Not Bryce Harper, no.
We're all
I
in
might give
agreement.
Chris Sanchez one too. No,
I don't trust
Wow,
Bryce Harper.
interesting.
He drinks a lot of raw milk. It's like, what are you going to do with the kidney? I mean,
Yeah.
you might not make the best use of the kidney.
So Dabbundo, when did he retire, Locke? What year?
2019,
Oh,
August,
okay.
one of
So
the
you would've-
darkest days of my life.
So you got another. If you had given it to him in 14, you would have gotten another 5 years. But it's bad if he gets the shoulder injury in 2015. Then what do you do? Do you ask for the kidney back? Yeah, this gets sketchy. It's
He can
kind
have
of a
my
weird
shoulder
question.
too. I'm just going to become
Right.
a
And the
mutilated
Dabundo's
soul.
shoulder
But I
is
get,
a.
but I
you
get to
know,
watch the Colts every week and win games. But you know what? We're back. We're the best record in the NFL. So
Do you want to?
needs
We'll get to that. Do you want to give Anthony Richardson your eye, or maybe a little eye replacement surgery? I mean,
Wow.
he's in the market. I don't know. There's a
Poor guy.
lot going on with that guy. Very, very sad.
should I bring my jersey to Core Week? Because I have a Richardson jersey.
Yes, you'll be back out here with the fellas here in Cordy. Yeah, definitely bring the Richardson jersey. All right, let's talk about this because Dabbundo at the 11th hour last night is like, hey, let's rank our top 5 teams, and then we could argue about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really jazzed about my top 5. I feel like 3 of them
hard.
could drop out. It is very hard, but also like I've been saying all week, I'm like, it's okay that we don't crown a champion on October 15th, right? And now here we are, we're going to make a list. I think it's fine. Let's do it. You pointed out we're a third of the way into the season. Is this going to be like the Ringer 33.3? Is that what we're going to call this? Is there going to be a graphic that's going to be wrong the first 2 times it's sent out? And we're going to have our Ringer 33.3 picks. All right. We'll figure it out.
It's funny. My mom, you know what inspired this?
Go ahead.
My mom and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and she said, I saw the Ringer Power Rankings, and the Chiefs were number 1.
Oh,
But I thought they were bad this year. Aren't they 500? And I said, yeah, but everybody kind of knows the betting markets and we all watched in the last couple games, like they're kind of back. And she's like, oh, but like, don't the Colts have a better record? And I said, yeah, but we all kind of, and then I was like, this is a losing argument. I'm just going to rank them on the Ringer Gambling Show instead.
good. Okay. So here we are. You have 5. You have them written down. I will tell you, this is already interesting because I have only 3 of these in my 5. So go ahead.
All right. So number 5, the Los Angeles Rams.
Mhm.
Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Number 3, just ahead of them, the Buffalo Bills. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 1, the cheese stands alone. Green Bay
Wow.
Packers
Wow.
as my number 1 team in the NFL.
Interesting. Okay. I had 3 of those. The most interesting thing, House, is he doesn't put his own Colts in there, who can't
It's
seem
just
to lose a game.
I
Yeah.
I feel like that's deliberate. He's trying,
Yeah.
pardon me, to not put the mojo, put the whammy, put the mush on his
Yeah.
own team because I mean, let's be honest. We all just watched the Bills back-to-back games here. It's
Right.
ludicrous to have the Bills ahead of the Colts at this stage.
Interesting. And I'm looking at your 5. You don't even have the Bills in at all. So now it really depends on how you look at it. It's like what you saw from weeks 1 through 6, or are you considering what you're going to see the rest of the season? How did you tackle this, House?
Yeah, I thought this was a week 1 through 6 exercise. I
Okay.
thought this was supposed to be a snapshot based on what we've seen thus far.
Mhm.
And obviously the trending is important, but yeah, I had Colts in the 5 slot, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4, the Packers at 3, Lions at 2, and Chiefs at number 1 because I think
Mm.
the Chiefs, notwithstanding the losses, I think now you can kind of say that had a lot to do with the injury at the receiver position, and now that they got healthy, they're running the offense they want to run. They look like the best team in football to me.
Well, you're not alone. FanDuel has them right as the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. I thought it's a little high for them. I think I screwed this up. I don't think I understood the point of the assignment because I feel like we've seen a bad version of all these top teams, right? At least 20% of their snaps. Everybody has at least one loss, right? So my list was based on teams who played fairly well or fairly consistently and should continue to do so once they get their injured players back. I don't ever remember full units being decimated by injuries, but there's hope to get them back. So I put the Broncos at 5. I put the Colts.
Broncos.
Yes,
Did,
yes.
did you watch the London game?
Listen, you have to throw out one game for all these teams. You just have to.
Yes.
But they possess the only defense that I'm consistently impressed with. So that's it. So and Indy and the Colts, they could have won those. They could be 6-0. They really could. So, but I gave the Colts the 4 slot, and you and your heart of hearts believe they should. I mean, they're plus 78 point differential, Dabbundo. They're moving the ball well.
I had them
Broncos,
8th.
You had them 8th. Interesting.
8th. I don't like the defense right now. They're very injured. They don't have a pass rush.
Okay.
They also, I mean, they have
You
played
like the
second
Bills
easiest.
defense.
They have played the second easiest schedule. Well, I don't like the Bills defense either. To
Okay.
be honest with you.
But you have them
I like
considerably ahead of the Colts.
Shit, he was right.
I
We
do.
are arguing about this. This is
But
crazy.
Buffalo for me, like you have to trust some of the track record and the
Yeah.
idea that like if I had to bet which offense would be better, the one with Josh Allen or Daniel Jones between now and
Wow.
December, I'm also taking
14
Buffalo.
points in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
allowed.
See, everybody's got like
You're
a
allowed.
game. Like I feel like, and here's the other thing. I don't want to look back on these and be embarrassed, right? So that's why I'm looking forward a little bit. And that's why, even though I don't think the Chiefs are top 3, I do have them at 3 because in January, we know they're going to be there, right? And their wins are looking okay. Convincing win against the Lions, who, I haven't even mentioned yet. And that win against the Giants is looking better, right? So they're going to start winning these 1-score games. Like House says, Rashee Rice coming back, and that's all. They're number 3. Bucks, number 2. I'm drinking the Baker Kool-Aid. Also a ton of injuries, but I've seen enough to know that they're not out of any game. And they played well in the playoffs. Everyone's making it like this is a huge surprise. They're starting from scratch. Like this is a pretty well-balanced, January team. I put the Lions number 1, and I know they have 2 losses. And they came out of that game flat against Green Bay, no showed against a hungry Chiefs team, but they averaged 40 a game over the other 4. And I think once they get their secondary guys back, they'll be okay. So, wow. So what did we learn from this, Dabbundo?
You guys like the Bucks more than I do, for
Yeah.
sure.
Collectively, we have the Lions probably the best if like we added up our numbers, right? Like House, you have them 2, I have them 1. Dabbundo, you have
Chiefs,
them
2.
4.
Right.
Yes, so that's a 7. Chiefs are a 1, a 3, and a 3. So that's also a 7. I guess the biggest surprise is Dabbundo doesn't have the Colts, and I don't have his number 1, the Packers, anywhere in the 5. So maybe I'm sleeping on this. I don't know. All right.
Well,
This
with
is
Green
fun.
Bay, I understand that Green Bay didn't look great. They choked against Cleveland. They basically had one bad offensive game, which was the Browns. They had
Mhm.
one bad defensive game against Dallas on that Sunday night game. And I guess we all watched that Sunday night game, and so we were
Right.
all like, "Whoa, like what's going on with Green Bay's defense here?"
Right.
I kind of still think that they like offensively are as elite as anybody. And the one stat I like about Green Bay, which I just wrote in my betting column that'll be up tomorrow, they are number one in the league in explosive play rate,
Mhm.
and they are number two in the league in explosive play rate allowed. So they are just so
Interesting.
good at making teams work for it and getting big plays themselves. I still love Green Bay. They're not healthy right now. The O line's been banged up, and Watson and Reed have been in and out. But I stand by Green Bay. You could convince me the Chiefs should be one.
Hmm.
You could convince me
Okay.
the Packers should be one. It would be hard to sell me on anybody else for
All
the
right.
one spot.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, your Packers number one big play, number two against the big play worst. Put them in the NFC Championship against the Bucks. That seems to be the most exciting game then.
Well,
If
Sal, you
that's what
got
we're saying.
number one versus number two this week. Bucks Lions.
I know. What are we gonna do here? That's a fun one. Except I think like the Bucks get killed because of just the injury situation right now. But I don't know. Everybody's busted up, right? House, you made a big case for the Lions going against them, and that's why you won your wisest wager. Wasn't that right?
The Lions in that situation against the Chiefs, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. That was exactly the case. Did anticipate also. I mean, that Lions secondary, the Chiefs just
Yeah.
picked on it. It was like, they can game plan. The Chiefs are one of those rare teams where it's like, oh, this team has a vulnerability. Let's formulate a game plan and take advantage of that vulnerability. You don't see a lot of that in the NFL for some weird reason, but we certainly saw it
Yeah.
with the Chiefs Lions. But this Lions Bucks game, I know we're not going to cover it in this show, but I really love the Lions this week.
Could talk about it. Oh, you do? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Home
think it's a
team
great spot for them.
coming off the loss. Yeah. Bucks are yeah, I mean they have to get all their skill position players back, but Baker will make it a game. All right. That's fun. All right, let's give actual winners out here. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Is the line still 5.5? Total 42.5. I haven't checked in a few hours. Steelers are 4-1 now, the favorite to win the AFC North. The Bengals are 2-4. Flacco at home starting versus Pittsburgh. Steelers have won 3 of the last 4 against Cincy, 2 of those 3 against Jake Browning. 5.5-point favorite, same number they were favored over Dylan Gabriel and the Browns last week. And now this Thursday, they're on the road in the Queen City. House, take it away. What's your pick here? You've done well with these parlays.
Yeah, it's too many points. I'm playing the Bengals getting the points, but for the purposes of our exercise, the way I'm going to play this is a nice little parlay. You can same game parlay with alternate spreads and alternate totals,
Sure.
and it kind of looks like a teaser, but
Yeah.
you get a better price. Like if you want an alternate spread, in a same game parlay, the Bengals from 5.5 up to 11.5. Well, you can certainly do that, and you can pair that with an under if you don't think there's going to be a lot of points of 48.5. I've done that. That is available in the FanDuel Sportsbook at -108, which is a very intriguing price for me. So yeah, I don't think that Pittsburgh is going to come into Cincinnati and win by margin. This is a divisional game. I actually thought Flacco and that offense looked pretty goddamn good. They
Yeah.
did the two things that they needed to avoid Cincinnati against Green Bay was turn the ball over and don't take sacks, and mission accomplished. I mean,
Right.
they were one. The AD was talking about the explosives of Green Bay. Green Bay got a long third down completion in the fourth quarter. If they hadn't gotten that, there was a scenario under which Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals would have had the ball on a drive to potentially win the football game in the fourth quarter. So,
Right.
I mean, congrats to Green Bay for winning. They didn't cover, but I think Cincinnati with Joe Flacco with these weapons, and they're already like game planning, scheming properly. That's why I'm playing it.
House, you talk about it. It's a beautiful time. Like, we have struggles and we look at the news and we get disgusted, whatever, but that you could get a teaser for -108 and they can call it a same game parlay, but you're right. This is a teaser. And we think back to college when we had to make teasers in college. I'm not saying I ever bet illegally, but I've heard stories where the local bookie would be like, teaser? I don't know what the hell this thing is. We're minus 130 if you want it. I'm like, all right. What am I going to drive 20 miles for bread? I got to get it here, right? Minus 108. You've done a nice job here. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
The bundle. What's your pick for the game?
We're gonna have to fit a tiny middle here. House. I like the over.
Ooh.
Debovers. Just sounds wrong.
DeBover.
The Debover. Over 43.5, minus 108. So last week, I agree with what House said about the Bengals receivers, and they actually did hit a couple of big plays, which I just talked about how tough that is to do against Green Bay's defense. If you go just simple yards per drive, so how many yards do you get on any given drive? This is the Bengals week by week NFL ranks. 31st, 24th, 32nd, 32nd, 22nd. Last week, 19th. Best performance of the season last week. Better than even the Joe Burrow game and a half that he played earlier in the year. And, I don't think Joe Flacco is some difference maker for them, but he at least can just throw it up to those isolation, on the boundary receivers that they have that can win one-on-one. And, for this Pittsburgh defense, who has really not played exactly a tough schedule in the last few weeks here, Pittsburgh's defense is bottom 6 right next to Cincinnati in yards allowed per drive. So I think the Bengals move the ball here. I think their Joe Flacco turnovers can make this game really like quick score type each way. And both teams are going to throw the ball a lot. Pittsburgh's been throwing it more early in games until they've had leads. And that's especially true for the Bengals, dropping back Burrow and Browning, and now Flacco a whole lot. So I think this is a over game state. I'll go Pittsburgh 24, Cincinnati 21.
Wow. I have it 23-21. I give the
That works for me.
Steelers the win. 5th game of the year, but by a thin margin. That's interesting. First of all, a couple things. Dabbundo, I think I saw a stat like Bengals last 8 at home, 7 of them have gone over or something. I tossed it to the side because it didn't jive with my pick here, which is Cincinnati plus 5.5. And I tell you guys, forget all the jerseys and the records for a second. Primetime Dogs House, 6-1 straight up.
Amazing.
And against a spread in the last 7 games played under the lights. I learned the hard way by taking the Eagles on a teaser, those teasers we love so much. So we should probably just take the inferior team. And by the way, like Hal said, the inferior team has some fight. I gave out Flacco 2+ touchdowns on the pregame. I said it would be done in garbage time. It was about the only thing I was right about last week. I saw a connection with Chase, who House and I will talk about in a second. He had 10 grabs. Higgins had 5. The defense played 5, like Dabbundo mentioned. They had a sack and 4 quarterback hits on Love. I think they don't make things easy for Rodgers, who I know is getting the ball out quickly, but this could be a close game. The Steelers also lost 4 straight Thursday night football games. They're 2-8 under Tomlin on Thursday. And from Action Network, as a favorite of 4 or more points, Tomlin's 13-26-1 against the number since 2017. So 23-21, Dabbundo. That's my number here. You have a 24-21. House doesn't. House actually, you're okay with that, right?
Both those work.
Yeah,
either one of those outcomes is fine for me. That's a nice winner for me.
The beauty of it.
Remember last year's snow game that developed midway?
Yeah.
It was a November game, and it was Pittsburgh at Cleveland, and Jameis had just come in as the starter, and Jameis just hucked it around the yard all game and ended up being like this wonky, crazy, high-scoring game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know that's not going to snow in Cincinnati tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You don't know that.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident it's not going to snow. You never know. Maybe they'll wear their white and black striped uniforms, and it'll look like snow. I think it could be a sneaky back and forth game.
Yeah. All right. House player props. You hit with you're doing well with these wide receiver player props. You had A. Brown over 64.5 receiving yards. I think he had that like in the second quarter. He hooked up with Hurts. You have another one
pay you
coming
extra
here.
for winning a bet on AJ Brown. Yeah.
No kidding.
he was due. The Giants. Yeah. So I'm looking.
You and I are going against each other here, but go ahead. Tell us your.
Well, this is a Chase Brown, the running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, who has not really been cooking. I didn't go to the receiver land here. I'm looking at Chase Brown. He has been getting diminishing touches, diminishing opportunities. He played less than 55% of the snaps on offense, a second straight game that's the case. He hasn't had more than 15 touches in a game since week 2. He had a season low under 58% of total backfield touches. So he's supposed to be the featured back, and yet he's not getting touches. He's only gotten to 71 total yards in a game. Not once this entire season. So the number is 65.5 rushing and receiving yards combined. And the thing that really clinches it for me is the way the Steelers played Quinshon Judkins, who had been excellent up to this point, the Cleveland running back. They allowed 36 yards on 12 rushes to Judkins with a long run of 6 yards. That all favors counts as well. This Pittsburgh defense is healthy, and this is what they do to opposing running backs. Under 65.5 for Chase Brown.
Okay, as a hopeless fantasy owner who has Chase Brown in his starting lineup every week, I endorse this wholeheartedly. I mean, and I have no choice but to start him. No matter what I do, I have to start him in these dumb leagues. Okay, I have Jamar Chase, the other Chase. Maybe there's another Chase. Over 21.5 for longest reception. We talked about how he now seems to be in sync with Flacco. 10 grabs last week. 22 or longer reception in 5 straight at home. Against the Steelers, he's 3 of his last 4. He's caught a long ball. Harold Fenton, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson all pulled in grabs longer than 21 yards over the last 2 games against the Steelers. Chase is going to get free at one point tomorrow night. Over 21.5 longest reception. Dabbundo, give us a tight end prop here.
I like Chevy Chase over 27.5.
There you go.
I'll go Noah Fant over 27.5 receiving yards. Steelers this year against tight ends, bottom 6 in the league, yards per game allowed, receptions allowed. It's a developing problem that their linebackers have not really been good at addressing. They've struggled over the middle. And we did see Fant get 5 targets last week, so he's clearly a part of this offense. And I think with all the attention that goes to Chase and to Higgins, that maybe it opens up some space for Mr. Fant to get one big catch and get over this number. 27.5. I like Noah Fant overs.
You think if you call him Mr. Fant, if you address him respectfully, he's gonna do well for you? That's interesting. Let's see if it works.
What if you called him Wood?
Yeah, call him.
You
Wood.
guys talked about that on Sunday, and I hadn't seen the broadcast because I was flying on Sunday, so I missed the whole I was so confused on Guess the Lines. Like, what are they talking about?
I'm gonna talk about his wood all year. House, this is not for net. We got to clean it up for Netflix. Come on.
I don't think that's true.
No, well, we don't. Okay.
No.
House turned into Dave Chappelle. It's going to be terrific.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, this touchdown prop thing, we need some help. We went 0 for 3 last week. I especially need help, and I can't hit them. So what am I doing? I'm taking another one at double-digit odds. Kenneth Gainwell to get the first touchdown. Former Eagle. Has 3 this year. He had the first touchdown in the Vikings game and against the Pats. He gets the ball just as much as Jaylen Warren inside the red zone. And Jaylen Warren is 5-1. Kenneth Gainwell 10-1. Maybe there's something there. He is top 10 in red zone touchdowns inside the 5 in the league. So worth a shot for first touchdown at plus 1,000. House, you're playing it a little safer. I don't mind this at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit square because DK Metcalf has scored in each of the last 4 games, has a touchdown, but he is clearly Aaron Rodgers' number 1 target, team high 31 targets, 23%, better than 23% target share, and his yards after the catch, he leads the entire NFL at over 11.5 yards. The thing about this that makes it compelling, plus 145. So at the price, when you look at the Cincinnati defense, they give up yards per target to opposing wideouts, and they rank very poorly in DVOA and PFF in their coverage grades. So I like the idea of DK getting loose and Aaron Rodgers is focused laser on him. It's like he's got a ayahuasca on his jersey, and he gets the ball right to him. A ayahuasca, isn't that what it's called?
What? I think it's ayahuasca,
It's
right?
ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca
I haven't
is
slept in 30 hours.
a girl who will walk. No, I don't know. Wow,
I
that's
think
interesting.
ayahuasca is a backup center for the Phoenix Suns.
Right. All right. Well, let Dabbundo confuse us even more with this Darnell Washington prop, so we could forget about ayahuasca. Darnell Washington plus 350 to Dabbundo to score a touchdown.
Mr. Washington to you, Sal. Mr. Washington.
There you go.
Look, has he gotten a target in the red zone the last 2 weeks? No, but he's been on the field more. And I think that's the big key here. He's out snapping.
It is important to be on the field.
I mean, has he been plus 350 like in high school to score a touchdown? I wonder, I would love to see Darnell Washington all of a sudden with these crazy odds. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, but he's been out snapping Freiermuth in the red zone the last few weeks. And I think that's significant because, you know who else stinks at covering tight ends? I mean, they stink at a lot of things defensively, but they stink especially against covering tight ends. So the Bengals defense has been a major issue there. Both of the tight ends should do well in this game. And yeah, he's plus 350 for a reason. We only need to hit one to be profitable here. Mr. Washington, plus 350, anytime touchdown score.
All right.
Thursday Night Football.
You're going to get the last laugh here, I think, with this Mr. Washington stuff. I'm going to have to put something on it because
Mr. Washington is his house's nickname.
That's it? That's right. Mr. Washington and Mr. I don't know. Where would Simmons be from? Holy Cross? I don't even know. Mr. Boston? I guess you got to say Mr. Boston. Right. 4-1 last week on Ringer 107. Good job.
We did that.
They lost the one they cheated on. Good. The gambling gods. They tried to steal Denver minus 6.5, which it was never 6.5, but good for them.
Never.
That was their loss. They're 14-16, rising. 14-16 is, I mean, I think you get a trophy for that in this 107 thing where we're pitted against each other. Dabbundo, you and I, 2-3. 13-17. I was terrible. Bodega Locks are in front at 16-14, so we still have a shot. Dabbundo, we'll get together later. We'll make our picks. I think we have to take a couple good quarterbacks. I think we're getting too cute. A little too Zac Efron-y with us here. Really cute dude, by the way. But anyway.
I wanted to take all three NFC South teams last week, and I was like, oh, are we really going to do this? Two of them covered.
I wish they would have the same bye week, all the NFC South teams, so we could we wouldn't even be distracted by having to take them.
It might be good this year, Sal. They went 3-1 ATS this week. The Bucks, you got them rated as second best team?
I love them. I always love them. I have them going to the Super Bowl. All right.
Can they do that with the 16th best quarterback though?
No, they can't. You mean Mr. Mayfield? No, he should be higher than that. Yeah. All right. But Dabbundo, let's look at our slate of 5, and then we'll pick a good quarterback. Let's make sure we have a decent, like playoff caliber quarterback in the 5. Can we do that?
Jordan Love?
Sure, he counts. House, what's your strategy? You don't care. You're gonna go to sleep, and if you sleep through the
Verno.
I only know about 2 football games this week. It's the Thursday night game and the Lions, because I bet on that as soon as that line opened. But I'll go to bed. I'll get a nice 6 hours of sleep and wake up and be in the lab, as they say.
House, I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. House is like, listen, this 107 thing is embarrassing. We have to put a graphic up every week. Let's please focus on our winning picks on Sunday. We give out 1,000 of them. We give out 1,500 bad ones too, but let's focus on the going. You're right, House. You're absolutely right. And I got to find a good one for this week. I have no idea what I'm going to.
Wait, Sal, did you win your wise wager on Sunday?
The Flacco thing. No. I'm 3-3 now. I've lost 2 in a row. Same kind of thing. Shitty quarterback.
I'm still in first place then.
Yeah, you are? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you sat out. Yeah. Okay.
The week off.
Right.
4-1.
You're back. Yeah. All right. We're all together. Let's take a break, and then we're going to do some baseball and college football and best bets. Oh, we got some NBA that has
NBA. Let's go.
Tutor us on. We'll be right back.
Ayahuasca.
All right, Dodgers win 5-1. We talked about that. They're up 2-0. They're minus 1,300 for the series. They're minus, what did I say, the 165 already for the World Series. It's kind of over already. Can we do it? Can we do Mariners Dodgers? Can we start that Saturday? Because they're up 2-0 and they're coming home. Give us your thoughts here, Dabbundo. I think it's minus 132 plus 112 on the take back for Toronto, and the over-under is 7.
Well, real quick, I have another bet I want to add.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to, continue to gain some profits back. Last week, the hate bet was Dodgers World Series. I hate it, but it's going to win. Monday we did East Coast bias, and it was Dodgers -1.5 games in this series. And now I'm getting greedy. I'm getting really greedy. Dodgers sweep +152. We got Glass now. We got Ohtani. Both guys look incredible on the mound right now. The Brewers offense has 5 hits in 2 games. They've been completely silenced, with the exception of the Jackson Chourio home run and some shaky pitching in game 1 from Roki Sasaki in the 9th inning. Sheehan, who is probably their big bulk guy behind whoever they need, Glasnow or Ohtani, he hasn't pitched in a week now, so he'll be rested to try to save and avoid their mess of a bullpen. And the Brewers don't know yet who's pitching game 3. I think it'll be Jose Quintana, but it's not looking great. And game 4, we'll see too. They're just kind of biding their time here until they can get back to Priester and Peralta for 5 and 6, who have not looked great. So I don't see, I feel like this should be closer to like +120 for the Dodgers to win both of these 2 games here at home. So Dodgers brooms out to the World Series +152 to sweep.
I mean, is there anything worse? The team that's down 2-0 is going to Chavez Ravine, right? And they can't even name a starting pitcher, right? I mean, if that's not waving the white flag, and they have to sit in the parking lot for 2.5 hours after the game before they get out. Like, add all that up, House. That is not pretty. House, your thoughts on this Mariners Toronto game, though?
Yeah, I'm actually wanting to kind of toss it to the baseball experts here. I'm playing the Mariners money line at -130. That feels like an extremely short number for me, because am I wrong, Anthony Dabbundo? Isn't Shane Bieber a bum? Didn't we just watch him get shelled by the Yankees? And they're putting this guy who would have been near the very bottom of the entire major leagues in, guys who hit the ball hard, average exit velocity, barrel rate, hard hit rate. He's at the bottom of all of those stats. He just didn't qualify because he didn't have enough opportunities. But I watched the Mariners pitcher, Kirby, and he's a badass. Like, I didn't want, that epic game against Detroit. Like, leave Kirby in. This is a bad spot. Like, Toronto hasn't been good on the road this season, and the Mariners have a real genuine home ball field advantage, and I think you can speak to it. Am I wrong? -130 feels like, let's go. That's a great number.
I also feel like,
speak to this. Go ahead.
The biggest advantage I feel like from Seattle, the Mariners, got that one right, is that they didn't have to use their best bullpen guys in game 2 either. Toronto used Varland, got rocked. They used Fluharty. They used some of their better guys in both games. So the Mariners have already seen the Blue Jays' top 2 relievers twice. And Seattle rested Brash and Munoz, who really needed a rest because they pitched a ton game 4, game 5, game 1. Now they're rested behind Kirby. So yes, I agree. I don't know if I would call Bieber a bum. That would probably be overstating it, but I do think it's a solid advantage for Kirby. And I think it's a solid advantage for the Mariners pen here. So I agree with you guys. I'm also going to be on Seattle in game 3. Roll M's,
I didn't
maybe
say
2 more to go.
You said shit. You say you guys. I agree with you guys. I think I'm going Toronto here.
Hey,
And respectfully, my play of the day last week was the Phoenix Mercury, who I think that's game 16 now, right? What are they in the WNBA? I don't know where they are.
I believe it's Mercury in 11.
They were terrible. They were awful. But Shane Bieber, not awful. I know the Yankees beat him up. He's one of my picks is over 14.5 outs. He's done this in 8 of his last 9, averages 16 plus outs in that stretch. But I'm going back to old reliable Dabbundo, which paid off during the Yankee series, and that's Blue Jays over 3.5 runs. It kind of has to happen for them to get this going. It's due. I can't believe I said that. It took 2 days off from scoring after walloping the Yankees. I was pounding that every day. They have 5 guys in the lineup with extra base hits off George Kirby this year, including Anthony Santander, who has 2 dingers. He has a back injury, but looking to suit up tonight. The over hit in 27 of the Blue Jays' last 39 games as an underdog. Not the over 3.5, but the over in the game. So I think there's going to be some runs here. I think they get to 5, which I believe is greater than 3.5. That's my bet there. You don't see some, you like the Mariners bullpen and everything else, though, Dabbundo.
I mean, I think it'll be a higher scoring game. I think the roof is going to be open tonight, which helps offense at that time of day. There's some glare with the roof being closed for the 5 o'clock start. Don't have to worry about that. If the roof is open, should be better for offense. Chilly night, but generally speaking, don't mind runs, but I think Seattle has an easier path to them.
And Anthony Dabbundo, you make the call kind of thing, just to because I know everyone's thinking this. If the roof is open and someone hits a long fly ball, right, and then they decide to close it, and the roof, we don't know what becomes of the ball. What is the ground rule on that?
That's a good question.
You see,
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
And catch a fish. That
yeah,
there you go.
Catch the fish, it's a double. If you drop the fish, it's a ground out.
I think that's great. Mix it up.
I went to Seattle last year and did not see the fish. I feel like I totally failed as a tourist.
Oh, that's
did not see the fish toss.
Oh, that
fish.
House,
but then we're sitting up there and they showed the broadcast. It was the Sunday night game against Green Bay, and they showed on the broadcast the fish toss, and I was like, oh, we should have been there. Why weren't we there?
The fish toss is great. The market itself is tremendous. House, we could spend like 6 days there. And I don't mean like go somewhere and then sleep. Like we could actually like stay and sleep right there in the market.
Going around, bites, get a little bite. You know,
it's the best.
I got some hot apple cider. It was incredible.
Yeah, see.
Also incredible. Ohio State Buckeyes plus 320. See, that's a nice segue there, Dabbundo, to win the.
They're kind of boring.
They're kind of boring. They're going to win by another 50 this week against Wisconsin. Alabama now 2 at plus 700. Miami plus 850. And Carson Beck is your favorite to win the Heisman at plus 300. Some good games this week. Georgia 7.5 over Ole Miss. I like Lane Kiffin's team to cover. Notre Dame 9.5 over USC. I don't know why that's so high. Bama 8.5 over Tennessee. That should be a good one. I like Tennessee's points over. And Vandy over LSU. I'll give you my pick here. I'm going Vandy money line. They're a 2.5-point favorite. And Pavia to score a touchdown at plus 232. Tate and I butted heads with this pick. I gave out Vanderbilt. I don't think LSU is that good. Don't tell Van, Alice. Don't ever tell him. But
don't tell Van.
No. He's carrying a bat now. And also he carries a bat.
I saw that.
Yes,
the Ringer tailgate is carrying the bat.
Oh, no.
What's going on
How is
there?
anyone supposed to give their honest opinion if he's carrying a bat? He's often angry anyway. I love Van. But their offense line is flat. There are rumors that Nussmeier is playing injured. Brian Kelly looks like a ghost patrolling the sidelines. He might end up in that Milwaukee hotel at some point. Their record's good enough to make them a small underdog, but I think Vanderbilt's solid. They hung with Bama. They had a garbage cover at the end. They had decisive wins over South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Diego Pavia, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,400 yards, 350 plus on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. And I think he runs for 1 on Saturday. Parlay that with a Vanderbilt win comes out to plus 232. House, you're going to the desert for this pick.
Yeah, this is Texas Tech, who's been on a roll here, taking on Arizona State. The number's been all over the place because the news about the injured quarterback for Arizona State, Sam Levitt. Right now, it's sitting in the middle. It is at 8.5. It was 11.5 earlier in the week. If he was 100% healthy, that number probably like the 5.5 range. I'm looking on the defensive side of the ball for the Red Raiders, top 15 nationally in nearly every defensive category. And Arizona has been having a hard time scoring, even with Levitt healthy. 110th in offensive finishing drives. Texas Tech in the top, near the top of limiting good drives. That means a lot of 3 and outs for Arizona State. And so I am looking at the team total for Arizona State under 20.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now. And I think like minus 112. I think Texas Tech takes care of business, wins by margin, and that defense is the pathway.
Very solid Texas Tech team. Mikey Meatballs, big fan of them. Yeah, look for them to be there in come January, right? Is that what month they
January.
do it? Yeah.
Well, we start the playoffs in December, which is magnificent.
True. Yeah, okay. Maybe they don't last to January. All right, Dabbundo, what's your pick?
Missouri, money line, minus 122. Look, I know that Auburn's had a tough schedule here, but at some point they got to score some points, and they can't. They're not capable. The pass offense is cooked. I think that there's been a lot of talk in the college football space about how Hugh Freeze is like puppeteering Jackson Arnold. where he's got like the mic in his head and he can say, hey, here's what the defense is doing. I want you to do this here and there. And the idea is that it's easier for them to play offense at home because the crowd's not as loud. So it's easier to do that communication, the marionette.
Right.
But the last 3 weeks, they scored 17 on Oklahoma, which they needed like a 50-yard pass interference on 4th down to get the last touchdown. They got 10 on Texas A&M. Their only touchdown came after like a 90-yard pick that started them inside the 5-yard line of Texas A&M. And then last week, Arnold throws for 137 yards. He is their leading rusher, and they get to 10 against a Georgia defense that I really don't think is that good, that has gotten kind of moved the ball by everybody else they've played this year. So these two offenses, who do I trust more? By a wide margin, the answer to that is Missouri. And you also have to wonder where Auburn's at. I mean, their season's kind of in the tank here at 3-3. Their playoff hopes are cooked. The squad is, probably just got Alabama circled in November. They'll probably win that game. But other than that, this Auburn team looks very 6-6 like to me. And I think they lose to Missouri. And Bo Pribula and the boys get a win in.
He's good. He's well. Go ahead. Now you got to come up with the city that they play in. Go ahead.
I was going to say Jordan-Hare, but that's fine.
Okay, Jordan-Hare. Yeah.
Like we're going to correct you.
I had Auburn as the 4th SEC team to make the playoff. It is so tough with those SEC teams. They just battle each other every week. There's 4 games. Teams could potentially be in the playoffs, and it's like a 3-point spread. And you're not getting that in the Big Ten at all. And all that had to happen was Michigan was no good, and Penn State was, I don't even want to say no good because that's offensive to Michigan. And that was it. And then we already know the Big Ten final right now, which is going to be Ohio State and Indiana. Good luck picking the SEC final. Let's do some NBA picks here. I really feel like House is Yoshi Yamamoto, and he just pitched a gem, and he's coming home, and now his kids want to have a catch with him. And that's what this is now with me and Dabbundo making NBA picks after House pitches a gem, a 4-hour gem. It went 18 innings. You pitched a gem with Bill Simmons with the NBA.
Well, and I'm qualified because I'm still in the same clothes as.
That's right.
You can just roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Yeah. All I did was change my hat.
Well, listen, we're not going to bore you too much. Dabbundo, you give a pick. I'll give a pick or two, and we'll give House the last word here.
What are the odds that the 3 best teams in the NBA are all in the same division?
Oh. I don't have that handy, but go ahead. Tell us.
House, the Northwest?
Well, the Northwest is the best division for sure. Yeah.
Right. But are they the 3 best teams just in the NBA? Denver, OKC, Minnesota?
I think the Knicks have a legit argument. And I think, if you're going to talk about Minnesota in that 3rd spot, then I think you have to at least acknowledge the Knicks. But for sure, Denver and OKC, 1A and 1B. I love those teams this season.
All right, so I'm going to lay it, and I'll see you guys in 8 months. The Northwest Division to be the champion of the NBA, minus 110. One of those 3 teams will win the NBA Finals this year. I'm very confident the West is clear to the East at the top, and that is my very baseline level analysis of the league. That, and of course, that the Sixers are going to make the playoffs.
House, well, I'll give you. God,
I like everything except for the last bit, but I will say, getting a minus 110, you've effectively gotten yourself a price on Oklahoma City that's not available in the market. It's a great strategy to go grab that price.
I was just going to say, Oklahoma, just from a numbers perspective, OKC is plus 200 to win the whole thing, right? And then Denver's plus 850. And then down the road a little, Minnesota is plus 1,900. That's a fun one. I like that, Dabbundo. I'll hit that. I got a couple. I have Pistons 50-plus wins. I just kind of think this could be I'm looking at a plus 182 for that, in a weak East. Bickerstaff, remember in his 3rd year with Cleveland, 151. I think LeVert and Duncan Robinson are nice additions. House, could this team get to 50-plus?
They could. Yeah, I thought they were going to be a little bit better than last year. They won 44 games last year. Their total this season is 46.5. I have to tell you, I played the under just because there is uncertainty at the point guard.
Not the under.
But the point guard, Jaden Ivey, if he comes in and it works, then 50 is absolutely in play. So at plus 182, this is a good bet. This is the right direction to go with this Detroit team. The big question mark with them is filling the hole that Malik Beasley, who who maybe could be come on this show with us. I don't know. He
All right. Don't say anything
ran
bad.
into some allegations,
Right.
and he's not at the moment on any NBA team, but he was due for a huge contract because he was one of the very best 3-point shooters in the entire NBA last year, and they don't have him now. They replaced that output with the Levert and the Robinson. So
Right.
I like the 50 plus at plus 182. I think directionally that's good.
And
they lost
Mr. Beasley
Hardaway
is
to-
holding out for a Netflix role.
Mr. Beasley. Oh man. All right. The other one I have, and I'm following your narrative, House, and Simmons is mostly too, that the Celtics are just going to chuck it. They're just going to chuck it and chuck it. And by the way, they did it in the coaches versus staff yesterday. You saw it. It was all 3-pointers. It's like these effing Celtics with the 3-pointers. Enough already. But in line with that, I'm going Derek White, 20 plus points per game average at plus 145. So if you look at his last 4 years, 11, 12.4, 15.2, 16.4. It'd be a big leap to get to 20, but not so big when the leading scorer is out and there are more shots available. And a lot of those shots are threes, right? So he's around 39%, top 6 in the league in 3-pointers made. And Boston, like you guys said, is going to be a spiteful team when it comes to shooting threes, right?
I love this. I think it's really on point with the narrative and what they intend to do this season. Jaylen Brown, I keep saying this. He said that he's on a track team, not a basketball team, because they are going to run to the 3-point line as fast as they can and get up a minimum of 63 pointers in every game. That's the Boston blueprint. They're daring teams to stop them. And Derek White, he makes threes. I mean, he's one of their most reliable 3-point makers in the playoffs, especially. So this is a great one at plus 145. Guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here's some fake odds.
That made my day. Go ahead. Yes, give us.
So I'm in Boston for a wedding party Friday night. We got Boston Celtics preseason basketball. They're playing the Toronto Raptors. What odds? Actually, no. Over under an hour and 2 minutes into the game when I was finally able to convince the bartender to change to game 5 of the ALDS.
Oh, I remember you texted us about this. I'll say over, but just by whether you're posing.
It's over. He didn't change the channel.
No way.
It was not until the 4th quarter.
Watch on your
finally
phone.
changed.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, School had already struck out 18 batters.
So what was that conversation like? He's like, "I'll change it if the game gets out of hand," or yeah.
No, they it was even worse. They gave me the delay, deny.
Oh.
Or the okay, I'll change it, passive accept, and then they just never did.
Yeah, right.
And then they said, oh, well, some guy already requested to have the Boston preseason game on, which was another guy from the wedding party who was engaging in a troll job against us and kept rolling up his sleeve to show us his Celtics tattoo every time I brought it up. So
you were watching Scooble strikeouts on Gamecast on your phone.
Correct.
Congratulations.
Yes. With a Tigers fan who had flown in for the wedding, like the good friend that he is.
That's great.
Or good +1 that he is in this case. And he was just devastated. But yeah, it was deep in the 4th quarter. Boston's up like 20, and finally they made the switch. Shout out to the Bostonia Public House.
Yeah, I guess at some point he doesn't even have to take a vote, right? Like he just knows, like I'm going to get screwed here. They're going to come over the bar after me if I change this preseason game. Yeah, I almost feel like every bar should have a designated remote control controller. Like some flights have U.S. Marshals on them. I think
this is a great call, cuz this is another Cousin Sal innovation. There's a thing here. Yes.
Yeah.
At the sports bars, there needs to be a person, and you know what? There should be. You have to make your case. He's a judge. It's the judge, the
remote czar
judge. You have to walk up to him and say, "Your Honor, here I have 3 points to make. This is Tarek Skubal in the American League Division Series with a chance to make for the first time for the Tigers, and how this is a generational pitcher. He might throw 20 strikeouts, the likes of which we haven't seen. You would have to go up and make that case to the remote judge, AD.
I like it.
I feel like there's no better feeling than when the bartender just gives you the remote. You ever had that happen?
It really is great.
Or at a bar or restaurant where they're saying, you know what? I know you know what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm just going to give you the power of the remote. I've done that. I've gotten that before, and it's the greatest feeling in bar culture, sports culture.
But the second greatest.
What's the best? Go ahead.
The girl.
Oh, the girl. Yes.
What's that? I don't know. What's that?
He doesn't know. The Netflix party. He's not sure. Yes, it's great. I feel like, House, to add to your thing, I feel like you have to be technically sound too with the remote, right?
Great.
And not just bring up a fair case as what it should be on, because I feel like I went and watched in Brooklyn a couple of weeks ago with my buddies. We went to this bar, McMahon's. There was a woman, a waitress, God bless her. I think it was her first and probably last day, and she had to control it. She could not give up the control.
No.
And then you have like guide up for like 3.5 minutes.
No.
I'm like, oh, geez, please. I swear to God, I could fix this in 8 seconds. Don't go to sports. Don't go to all sports. No, that's not going to be good. That's going to delay us another minute and a half. But yes, that's right. The remote czar. Let's get that going.
Very good.
That's going to be the next Goodwill Hunting. The guy's going to flex on the notepad, like on the sticky note, that he was he won the judge decision.
The remote czar.
Not that he got the girl's number. Who needs that? Don't need the girl's number. Just need to be the remote czar for the night.
How do you like that, TiVo? I don't know. It'll be something like that. I have no idea what it would be. All right. Hey, Ringer Gambling Show brought to you by FanDuel. Nothing like the MLB postseason. It's one big game after another. You know what? Big games deserve bigger payouts. That's why FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost to get in on MLB postseason action. So you can use your profit boost on home runs, strikeouts, who will win the game, and so much more. You maybe over 16 and a half outs for our guy Shane Bieber. You might want to do that. Visit FanDuel.com/gamblers to claim your profit boost. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. You must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus is issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. It's time for our Wednesday wild prediction. Let's do this, House. You are the king of these 13-point teasers. In fact, I think all of them covered outright. Oh no, you had Detroit. They didn't cover, but I think the other three like covered in one, like outright, right?
Yeah, I told a little bit of a half truth when we were talking earlier about methodology. And let's just remind all of our friends out there, go find, FanDuel has it. It's under stats. Go find the tickets where the public is 60% or more. Yeah. That's your starting point. Once again, this week, 2-6 against the spread, the public. You got to go find the games where the public, where you anticipate that the public side will be, X, and then you got to go Y. Must go Y. So a couple of games in this 13-point parlay where I'm anticipating the public will go heavy on the favorite. These are all dogs, and we're getting gigantic spreads for these dogs. The Cincinnati Bengals at home getting 18 and a half. Sure, let's start Thursday night off correctly. The New Orleans Saints, the spunky, funky Saints, who were in that game against New England. They're in every game except for the blowout in Seattle, and that was because of special teams weirdness. They certainly are going to be within 18 points of the Bears. I don't think that's going to be one where the public is all over the Bears. I think people, the smell of New Orleans is starting to catch some noses. I think it's, I don't know what it smells like. Maybe gumbo. Maybe some charbroiled oysters. Anyway, the
gumbo and vomit. Yeah, I think that's basically what
you two know. New Orleans eats well. Huh?
It's true.
We do. We can keep talking about those foods. Well. We could keep going. The Colts plus 14.5 at the Chargers, the Texans plus 16.5 at Seattle. That's your 13-point 4-leg tease of the week.
Those are all good, and they're not terrible quarterbacks too, right? Like normally you get in those numbers, House, you gotta, oh boy, they're gonna lose by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I don't smell that in the New Orleans streets with that one. That's a good one. Texans 16.5, Colts 14.5, Saints 18, and Bengals 18.5. All pluses. House, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 13-point teaser. Go get it. All right, Dabbundo, this is interesting. This is one you look at and you're like, oh my God, when am I ever going to get these odds again for a Kansas City team? So take us through this.
Yeah, Monday morning we discussed this on the show, and I said if I gave you $100 with two bet options, you could bet either Chiefs Super Bowl at 7-1 or Chiefs 1 seed at 7-1. Well, the Bills lost a pretty high leverage game because now they're only 1 game ahead of Kansas City in the standings. And you can still get Kansas City at 6-1 to be the 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. They still host Indianapolis. They go to Buffalo in a couple of weeks. Buffalo's defense continues to be taking on water. If you think the Chiefs offense is back, and I do, then you should be investing in Kansas City's upside. And there's multiple ways to do it. You can do Super Bowl, where they're going to have to win 3 or 4 games in a row. You could do Mahomes MVP, but that's only 2-1. But you could also do Kansas City 1 seed. And given that I think the Colts are going to take some losses here while they're getting healthy on the defensive side, and that I do think the Bills have a couple losses in them as well, and maybe even head-to-head with the Chiefs in a couple weeks, Kansas City is in position to run and go, potentially on a big run here, and maybe only lose 1 game the rest of the season, maybe 2, and get that number 1 AFC seed. So it's 6-1. It's not that wild. I'm betting on the Chiefs. We've been doing this for years, but 6-1 to win the AFC 1 seed.
You were super impressed with their win over the Lions, right? Because you said you came
and the Jags. They lost, but I was impressed.
Oh, you were impressed. So you would have taken this after the Jags lost too, the Tuesday 10 days ago?
Well, I did bet some Super Bowl before the Lions game, so I was feeling that. But I just what I see the difference. Number one, they had the highest success rate of any team in the NFL in any game this year against Jacksonville. Yeah. But they also are now hitting explosives again. The ADOT has creeped up from Mahomes, yards per attempt, ability to hit 10+ yard pass plays. Thornton, Rice, and Worthy, and maybe a little rejuvenation for Kelsey.
Okay.
And don't count him out yet. I'm not totally buying that narrative, but I think this offense is looking like they've sorted some things out.
All right. That's a fun one. That's a wild, not even a wild Wednesday prediction, but I'll put you up there. All right, House, I don't want to get off on a sour note here, but I don't think your Commanders make the playoffs, and I don't think the Texans make the playoffs. And I want to get in on this both to not make the playoffs at plus 111 before they both lose this week. Houston at Seattle and Washington to my juggernaut Cowboys. Oh boy, we should have a side bet. How do we not have a side bet on this? Because we both hate our teams, I guess.
Well,
you could both take the other side.
Yeah. Yes. The winner is the remote czar for our next gathering when we get together. I don't know what we'll do.
I would just make you watch Washington. That you wouldn't enjoy that. I think the correct portion of this is indeed, unfortunately, the Commanders, because the schedule that they have this season, this was the forecast. I mean, everybody was skeptical about the Commanders. I thought their ceiling was 10. You can't lose that game to the Bears and win 10 games. So they are not winning 10 games this season. Their best outcome is 9. The most likely outcome is 8, and that will not make the playoffs in the NFC. I honestly think because the Texans are onto something here. I think that they directionally, what they've showed us offensively, AD may not like this. We're going to see when he comes up with on Sunday for his
Texans czar.
His bet. But Woody Marks has changed the complexion of that offense.
What?
I love Woody Marks.
I'm just telling you.
Come on now.
But here's the other part of this.
Go ahead.
Seattle, don't trust Seattle at home. Those mother effers, that Tampa game, I'm not forgiving that. They lost to the 49ers in week 1 at home, and they lost to the Bucs, who had come all the way across the country with their busted up offensive line outright at home. Seattle on the road, sign me right the F up. They don't lose on the road. They win straight up. They win against the spread. Seattle at home, I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
All right.
Now, Houston's only good offensive game of the year was against a MAC team. Which is the current Ravens defense. At least the Ravens defense that showed up for that game. They had no Hamilton, no anybody.
Did you say a MAC team or a MAC?
No, MAC, like the college football conference.
Yeah, okay. All right, gotcha.
Notorious for being really shitty.
Yeah.
I will see. We'll see about the Houston offense.
Let me just say something about Houston. House, you said Washington's schedule, and that is tough, right? Is going to maybe hamper them. And I also feel like Atlanta is now emerging as a confident candidate to grab that 7 slot. I was impressed with what they did Monday. I know a couple weeks ago they got shut out by the Panthers. This is this year's NFL. What are you going to do? Here's Houston's schedule. You want to see what a first place schedule looks like? Seattle, like them or not, at home. San Francisco, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Broncos, the Bills, the Jags. That's some losses in there, Dabbundo. Come on.
Yeah,
I agree. Another 4 That could be another 4 losses. Anyway, both underdogs to make the playoffs, but together you get plus 111 for Commanders and Texans. And I'm a bad gambler, Hal, so that should make you feel good that I have the Commanders on a negative parlay there. You got anything to plug, House? Tell us about what dreams you're going to have in about 4 minutes when you go to sleep.
Well, I will go ahead and tell everybody about the Super Boost that is coming down the pike on the FanDuel Sportsbook for these NBA bets. You know, I've only spent the last 50 hours of my life looking for good value here. The Podfather Bill Simmons, Zach Lowe, NBA expert, and myself came up with these collaborated the Super Boost that FanDuel looks like they're going to give us. The Bucks at 45 or more wins. Now that one's good because the win total for the Bucks is 42.5, but the three of us are very bullish on this Milwaukee Bucks team. Golden State Warriors at 45 or more wins. Now their win total is 47.5. So this is a nice little leg, right? Nice safe leg. Either the little injuries, you know, that crop up regular season with Jimmy Butler or Steph, and then Oklahoma City 60 or more wins. That one feels like the most certain of that. FanDuel's giving us a super boost on those 3 legs. I mean, I don't know which one of those doesn't get across the line for us.
And this one, you guys typically do well with these, right? It's
the
you and
NBA ones.
Yeah, you and Simmons, maybe not Zach Lowe. I remember another fellow would join you guys in years past. I don't know where he went. He didn't go to Netflix, that's for sure. But anyway, this is a nice little super boost that FanDuel's doing for you. All right, that's great. Dabbundo, you are coming out to LA. When is this? Tomorrow?
Saturday.
Saturday. What, you don't want to spend some extra time here? Why you have to do it Saturday you're here.
Don't take that out with me.
You're here.
Take that out with Spotify people.
I'm going to call Spotify.
I'll come up to LA anytime.
I forgot you're
Netflix.
Yeah. Tell them you're friends with Netflix now and Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown?
No, not Millie. Anya.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, Anya's married.
We're going to sort this all out during court week when Dabbundo and the other chums are out here. That's going to be fun. Dabbundo and I, so House, we won't see you on the pregame show. We'll miss the hell out of you. Friday, Dabbundo, you and I and Heifetz, we're going to go live after, well, not live. It'll be, we'll be going live after the Thursday night game. And then we have Boomer Esiason on the end of that podcast. And that does it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. For Joe House, for Anthony Dabbundo, I'm Sal saying so long, and may your parlays be prosperous. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York.